I've seen so many people rave about the benefits of drinking celery juice, I just had to give it a try. I'm heading into the supermarket to buy a week's worth of organic celery. I've bought all the organic celery. Day one of celery juicing. I've had to buy a juicer especially for this challenge. There are certain requirements for doing this celery juice experiment. Use organic celery, drink 16 ounces or 500 millilitres of fresh celery juice every day and drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. And there's a reason for each of these things, which I'll explain as we go along. From the videos that I've seen, people use 2 bunches of celery, which gives half a litre of celery juice. This is meant to work in 7 days and I'm meant to see the results. So let's see. Right. Okay. Oh, Charlie, do you want some celery juice? From a bit of research that I done online, instead of using a centrifugal juicer, which basically grinds and spins the vegetable, I bought a masticating juicer. I can't really remember the difference actually. So this is a masticating juicer. Masticating is said to be better as it provides more liquid, preserves the nutrients and gives a better quality juice. Oh, it's coming out! Oh, that is so exciting. I'm easily pleased with this new juicing experience. Crashing it up in there. That is super cool. Oh, that's so cool. I tell you what isn't going to be cool is washing this thing up. That's a lot. Maybe too much. Oh, wow. Well, it smells like celery. Huh, yeah, funny that. Cheers. Well, it's not too bad. I thought it was going to be really bitter. It doesn't help that it's warm because it's been in the machine being ground down. Do I drink it all in one go? I don't know. I have heard some pretty horrifying stories when starting out doing the celery juice. No more details needed. Okay, I'm going to get ready for the day and sip on my organic celery juice. On the first day, I was a bit worried because I'd read some pretty intense stories about the first few days of drinking celery juice. This particular YouTube comment, it scared me a bit, but it also made me scream with laughter. I'd heard so many benefits about celery juice, but one particular one was appealing to me. I'd seen so many reports of people saying that it had improved their skin in only 7 days, and I wondered if that would happen to me. Even though I'm 42, I still get breakouts on my chest. I haven't had that in quite a while actually, but it's just not budging. So I'm wondering if the celery juice is going to help, because I think that's been there for about 3 or 4 weeks now. So there I am, getting ready for my day, sipping on my fresh organic celery juice. But I didn't realise at the time I was doing this wrong. But I'll do it right on day 2 and I'll talk you through it. Ooh, I just got a little lump. A little frothy, bitter lump. That caught me by surprise. Warm, fluffy lump.
And all that anyway. And then my skin was starting to get a lot.
That at the bottom, I hadn't realised, is kind of sludge. So I think I was meant to put a filter over the juicer. I have got one, but I just didn't use it. I didn't think that it would need it. So now I'm kind of sucking the juice through the sludge and hoping that my teeth will act as the filter. This is ridiculous.
5 hours later.
I'm sitting doing my work at the computer and I just had a bit of a stomach gurgle. A lower stomach gurgle.
I keep getting these really bad tummy aches.
I don't usually have that kind of gurgle. So I'm thinking that it must be related to the celery juice. I don't know if I feel nervous or not. I mean, it felt fine, but there's this instinctual feeling that something might happen. It's the end of day one. Got some stuff to report. Today I have experienced quite a lot of gas. Yeah, there's quite a lot going on. I've got a theory about this stomach gurgling and the gas thing, which I'll explain in a minute. But let's move on to day two. I've just got back from the gym. I decided not to do my celery juice before the gym, just in case there was an... Despite having no negative repercussions on day one, I still wanted to take precautions so early on in this experiment. If there's one thing that I don't really want to do after a hard session at the gym, is drink celery juice. Me and my friend pushed quite hard this morning and I feel a little bit, kind of a bit sick. I don't think the celery juice will mix with that post-workout nausea. Today, no more using my teeth as a filter. Instead, I used the filter that came with the juicer to remove the fluffy sludge. I also removed the celery leaves as I learned that it was making the juice bitter. So now let's talk about the finer details of this celery juice experiment. The fact that you have to drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. I hadn't realised that these rules, let's call them, were so important. So there's this guy, Anthony William, and he's the one that started this celery juice craze in 2018. And he says that celery is one of the greatest healing tonics of all time. In fact, in doing some research for this video, I found that in the 16th century, celery was actually considered a medicine rather than a food. How mad is that? So maybe there's something in this. The half a litre of juice thing, it's an important factor because half a litre will fill the stomach and then it will coat pretty much all of the stomach lining. And that's where apparently all the good stuff happens. The most massive, healthiest shot ever. Down it, down it, down it. Oh, it's so much better without the sludge. Hooray! Oh, that's actually quite nice. It tastes unbelievably healthy. That wasn't so bad actually. That juice tastes so clean and so pure. Okay, right, now to do the tidying up.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
There's a lot of activation going on today. I've just come up with an idea. I'm going to prep all of my week's celery. So chop it and clean it and then put it in a box ready to go. Because then hopefully that's going to save me some time. And I'm surprised I'm saying this. I'm actually really looking forward to having my celery juice this morning. And let's ignore that piece of mouth tape that's attached to my pyjamas. Perhaps the effects are kicking in and my body's starting to understand the benefits. So while I get organised, let's talk about some of the health benefits of celery juice. Bear in mind, I'm not a doctor, a nutritionist or anything remotely similar. I'm just a random woman doing a celery juice experiment. Celery juice is said to increase the production of stomach acid, which then helps break down food, allowing the body to absorb the nutrients from the food. I found this particularly interesting because last year some tests showed that I had low stomach acid, which was causing me some health problems. The celery juice can reduce bacteria overgrowth in the stomach, hence the reason for drinking a large amount on an empty stomach. Wow! That looks so good. The juice fills the stomach and touches the stomach lining, eliminating the bad stuff. And this is probably why some people, when doing the celery juice thing, they get a kind of an evacuation process. I was going to explain what an evacuation process is, but I think you probably already know. This is the body getting rid of some of the bad stuff. And this was probably what happened to me on the first few days with my stomach gurgles. And it's probably what happened to this guy. Okay, time to clean the juicer. And we're only just scratching the surface on what celery juice is meant to be good for. it's high in electrolytes, it's all of the antis, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. It's said to be good for the liver, it increases blood flow, supports the immune system, and it helps with sleep because of magnesium and apigenin. On this day, I unravelled a massive audio essay of thoughts about this experiment, but I don't want to ruin the rest of the video, so we'll hold back until the end, because there's still so many more benefits to cover. I'm looking forward to my celery juice this morning. And I've got something to tell you. I was at the gym this morning and my friend complimented me on my skin.
What did you just say? Said you look very glowy. Wow, that's one of the things that's meant to happen.
That's in the celery juice.
Yeah, it's meant to be pretty instant.
And it was completely separate from a celery juice related conversation. So I'm wondering if it's already started working. It's only been 4 days. I'm interested to know if you're a celery juice fan, or have you tried it? And if you've noticed any improvements in your health, please let me know in the comments. Now we're going to bust out some big words. It contains something called 3N-butyl
3N-butyl phthalate,
which relaxes smooth muscle, which is then said to help with blood pressure, as well as many other things. Apigenin helps with feelings of calm and relaxation. Coumarin acid increases activity of white blood cells. And camphorol is a potent antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal and anti-inflammatory. There's so much going on in these little green sticks, and the health claims are massive. But is it too good to be true? Oh yeah, that is good. It's kind of strange because over the few days that I've been doing this, I've got used to the taste and I've actually learned to enjoy it. I wonder if it's because my body is understanding that the nutrients that are in this are good for me. I understand there isn't really a way of telling if celery juice is going to make a difference to me in such a short space of time, especially without doing blood tests, nutrients and things like that. And I haven't really been thinking about it. I just drink the juice and then get on with my day. But I don't know if there's a correlation. But today, I just feel as though I've got so much energy. But a kind of, it's quite hard to explain, a really clear energy. And my insides, my body just feels good. But do you think it could make a difference in such a short space of time? Was this clear energy coming from all the nutrients in the celery? Vitamins A, C and K, minerals, calcium, potassium, folate, to name a few, and all those other fancy nutrient names. Was the relaxed vibe coming from the magnesium and the apigenin? On day 5, I decided to be brave and drink the juice as soon as I got out of bed and before the gym. With no emergency incidents over the last few days, I thought this was a low-risk decision. Look at the celery juice! No, you don't like celery juice because you're a cat. Almost a week of doing celery juice, I haven't had any incidents, so I can rest assured that my body knows what to do with this magical juice. Oh, I'm getting good at guessing how much 500 ml is. Cheers. Delicious. I've just got out the shower, hence the reason my face is red, but I've noticed something. The breakouts on my chest are nowhere near as bad, and usually when I get out the shower, this is when they're the reddest. Look, they're not as angry as they were 5 days ago. I didn't think something systemic could work so quick because the skin cells have got a renewal rate of about 28 days. So considering it's only been 5 days, is there anybody qualified who's watching that can give their professional opinion on if something systemic can work on the skin so quickly in such a short space of time? Day 7. I had to buy some more celery today because I made some for my friend a couple of days ago, so I ran out.
Look at that goodness.
The final day of the celery juice experiment, and I think some stuff happened, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But first, something weird. This is rather bizarre. Right. Oh, I feel as though if you're a bit squeamish, you shouldn't watch this bit, even though if you're squeamish, I know you're going to watch this bit. Oh my. In the sink, after washing my celery, there's this little guy. He's pretty cute. He's having a great day in the sink. But don't worry, I put that little fella in the garden for a brand new life in the wild, which I can imagine is quite exciting compared to living on a stick of celery. Some of the good stuff that's come out of doing this celery juice experiment is my skin seems clearer, I had good energy and clear thinking throughout the week, I slept well, and I'm sure any cravings I had for unhealthy food were reduced due to my body getting so many nutrients early in the day. So what are my thoughts on this experiment, and will I continue? I thought doing this was great and I enjoyed how I felt. However, it was expensive and time consuming. If I was to continue doing this, then it would cost me about $90 a month just on organic celery, and it took about 15 minutes each morning to prep, make the juice and then clean the juicer. So over the month, that would be an extra 7 hours. It's 5 days after completing the celery juice experiment, and here I am with half a litre of fresh celery juice. I've decided it's unrealistic for me to do it every day. I can't do all of the health protocols, but I am going to carry on doing it at the weekend because this stuff is just too good. Oh, that is so good. If I was super duper rich and had a personal chef, then I would absolutely do this every day. Celery juice appears to have many health benefits. However, it may not be needed for everyone. Yes, it's jam-packed full of nutrients, but it depends what health conditions someone starts with and what their health goals are. For example, if someone is eating a lot of unhealthy food, shows poor organ health, and they need some more nutrients in their weekly plan, then celery juice could be a great option. And then on the flip side, someone else may already eat plenty of vegetables, have good weight and healthy organs, so they may not benefit from celery juice as much. So with thousands of testimonials on how amazing celery juice is, what do you think? Are you tempted to give this a go? Or do you think it's just a hype?